On my orders, coalition forces have begun striking selected targets of military importance to undermine Saddam Hussein's ability to wage war. These are opening stages of what will be a broad and concerted campaign. More than 35 countries are giving crucial support.
The decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine.
I take the fact that he develops weapons of mass destruction very seriously. Those weapons of mass destruction got to be somewhere.
This is an article in Business Insider. It came out in 2013. Here are just some numbers. And this is from the time, 2013. It's worse since then, right? But as of 2013, here's what we're dealing with the decision that George W. Bush made. There were 189,000 direct war deaths in Iraq, which doesn't include the hundreds of thousands more that died due to war-related hardships. There were 4,488 U.S. service personnel who were killed directly. There are 32,223 troops that are injured, and that's not including PTSD. There are 134,000 civilians who were killed directly. There are 655,000 persons who have died in Iraq since the invasion that would not have died if the invasion had not occurred. There are 150 reporters killed. There were 2.8 million persons who remain either internally displaced or have fled the country. $1.7 trillion is the amount in war expenses spent by the U.S. Treasury Department through fiscal year 2013. $5,000 was spent per second in the war in Iraq. $5,000 per second. $350,000 was the cost to deploy one American military member. $490 billion is the amount in war benefits that's owed to war veterans. $7 trillion is the projected interest payments due by 2053, because of course the war was paid for with borrowed money. $20 billion is the amount paid to KBR. That's a defense contractor, and they are responsible for equipment and services in Iraq. $20 billion was paid to them. I'm sure there were a bunch of yachts that were bought with that money and mansions. $3 billion is the amount of KBR payments Pentagon auditors considered, quote, questionable. Where'd that $3 billion go? Gosh. I'm sure there's a very legitimate reason that they can't find it. $60 billion is the amount paid for reconstruction of Iraq, which was ruled largely a waste due to corruption and shoddy work. That's lovely. $4 billion is the amount owed to the U.S. by Iraq before the invasion. 1.6 million is the gallons of oil used by U.S. forces each day in Iraq. $12 billion is the cost per month of the war by 2008. $7 billion is the amount owed to Iraq by the U.S. after the war, mostly due to fraud. $20 billion was the annual air conditioning cost in Iraq. And then gone missing, $546 million in spare parts, 190,000 guns, including 110,000 AK-47s. 40% is the increase in Iraqi oil production after our invasion. Weird. I wonder if that had something to do with why we went in there. $5 billion is the revenue from Iraqi oil in 2003. That went all the way up to $85 billion in 2011. $150 billion is the amount oil companies are expected to invest in oil development over the next decade. $75 billion is the approximate amount expected to go to American subcontracting companies, largest of all, Halliburton, who Dick Cheney worked for, and then, by the way, on his way out, he took an exit bonus of millions and millions of dollars. Really strange, bro! Really strange stuff there. And the most important number of all, 0, donut, nada, zilch. That's the number of nuclear weapons of mass destruction found. There were some chemical weapons that were found, but by the way, why did Saddam Hussein have the chemical weapons? We gave them to him. So that's George W. Bush. Now you know.
Mr. Bush, when are you going to apologize for the million Iraqis that are dead because you lied? You lied about weapons of mass destruction. You lied about connections to 9/11. You lied about Iraq being a threat. You sent me to Iraq. You sent me to Iraq in 2003. My friends are dead. Joshua Castile. You killed people. You lied. You lied about WMD. A million Iraqis are dead because you lied. My friends are dead because you lied. You need to apologize. Apologize.